Well, I could tell some stories about that company. Like one time, one of the Mexican dudes like totally tried stabbing me with his fucking clippers. Hello and welcome. Today, like and subscribe is a video. Like and subscribe. I think I was about 17 when I 17. It could have been. I could have been 18. So that now what's sparking my memory is what got this crazy fucker that I worked for so excited was that I didn't have any driving record at all. Like I had no. So insuring me wasn't gonna freaking ruin him. Like insuring my buddy Scott Stoggs, that cost him a fortune because he literally had his license suspended at points, and I mean just had like his parents gave him a car and he just fucked up, and so. But I never really had a car. I did it a couple, and I kind of fucked up, but I just never got caught. I kind of crashed the car a little bit, but so I had a car, didn't have a car, had a car. But at this point in my life, I didn't have a car. And I hadn't really had a car, so getting insurance on me was no big deal. So this guy hooked it up. Now I'm working for this company, and I think what was going on was I had a job. Well, I had school aspirations, right? Like I was going to Clackamas Community College and working in a video store, running videos, and you know I didn't have any clue about what I wanted to do. So, but I thought I wanted to go to school. So then Stoggs fucking starts showing up there to my grandparents' house where I'm living at the time, and like with his fucking checks that he's getting from working landscaping for like 2 weeks, he's getting like $1,000 or something. And this is like the late 80s, right? So $1,000 for a teenager in the late 80s is freaking a lot of money, right? So I end up starting to work the job, and then my boss at the video store finds out, probably through me, that I was working the other job and fires me for moonlighting or some shit. Yeah, part-time job renting videos. Like, oh, you're not going to be loyal to me and you're part-time? Like, are you kidding me? This lady told me when she hired me for that job, she had never hired a guy with long hair before, but because I kept my hair like pulled back and neat, and I looked like Steven Seagal, which now is kind of an insult now. Back then it was a compliment. Before we knew the true Steven Seagal. So anyway, I got this job, no sweat, no problem. Now this job was some family had started a landscape company, built it up, got a bunch of accounts, and then put it up for sale. This other family that had like done big landscape projects, like literally this was the family I think that got the contract to landscape the in-between I-5 like for hundreds of miles or something. But that was like the guy's brother. So this guy Richard that ran this company, which was called Original Landscapes, he had done 20 years in the Air Force, got out of the Air Force. So he was like one of these military type of people that thought screaming at everybody was how to get shit done, right? Which, unfortunately, I kind of picked that up from him, and it's like, I fucking hate that about myself, because there's better ways of getting shit done, but it's like, it's just like easier to fucking just crank it up to fucking psycho and just fucking, you know, scare the shit out of people and just get shit done like in 5 seconds rather than, you know, some other way. And I'm super nice to everybody all the time, unless it's like some fucking situation where like Comcast took the money out of my account or something like that, you know. Then, you know, it's like a different stories. I mean, but just basically, generally, I'm just a nice person. But when some fucked up bullshit happens, like, to deal with it, like, so, you know. Anyway, this guy, though, Richard, would just at everybody. But he didn't really mess around too much with me because I was like his golden boy. Because I was like a fucking machine. I would get out, and he basically just ran this company down into the ground. So he got this company with all these accounts and all these people working and just tons of trucks and all this shit. And just slowly but surely, he fucking ran the thing. You know, he pissed off the accounts. I mean, he was bringing family friends in from fucking Pendleton, Oregon to work in Portland, Oregon, and these fucking, one of them at least, one was family, this one guy, he was fucking doing side landscape jobs while he was on the clock for the fucking company with the company's tools. I mean, so this is how just mismanaged this fucking company was. Is like, so, I mean, the company literally, I don't even remember how long I worked there, maybe a couple years. So the company, I mean, I was just this machine. By the time I got to, you know, the company being run down to nothing, and I was like the main guy pretty much. Like, I was just like with a truck and a trailer, and I would hit these places, and I was just going 90 miles an hour. I mean, just in and out of the trailer with the different tools and just doing all the stuff and just getting the place just dialed in and just bam, loading it up and off to the next one, you know? And I was just a machine, right? By the time the thing was done. But I spent a couple years there working, and the guy came out of the Air Force and would just yell at everybody all the time. So people would either quit or rip him off. Years later, after I quit, I'm driving down the street, and the guy, or down the freeway, I pass him, and he's all, "Oh, hey, call me." Yeah, right. Fucking work for you again. Fuck. I learned a lot about landscape maintenance, but, you know. and I made, you know, decent money for some years. Never enough money to like put money in the bank or anything like that. I mean, it was all just in one hand and out the other. That was the story, the makeup story for my job landscaping. I don't know exactly what got deleted or not, but well, I could tell some stories about that company. Like, one time, one of the Mexican dudes, like, totally tried stabbing me with his fucking clippers. And I wasn't the only one he tried stabbing with his clippers. Like, he was an angry... at the time, I was listening to a lot of Metallica music. And, like, there's a Metallica song. There's, like, "My mother is a witch." And the Mexican dudes were just fucking, like, that was just, like, the most... That was, like, devil worship to them. Linus Martinez. I will never forget that guy. That was my little partner that for years he was building a little house in Mexico. He didn't speak very good English, but we communicated like literally all day long. I mean, it was just me and him. We spent a lot of time together. That wasn't the one that tried to stab me. I don't remember his name. Linus was just a nice, simple, you know, guy that was in America trying to make enough money to build a house in Mexico and set it up to where he didn't have to, you know, because he just couldn't do any work in Mexico. He had the property or whatever. So, Linus Martinez. Hey, buddy. Yeah, he was probably a couple years older than me. And it's always sex play jokes with the Mexican dudes. So, suck my dick and de la lonches way. So, boy, yeah, we used to smoke a lot of weed on that. God, you know, I could probably just tell a bunch of stories because I worked with this lesbian chick, and she used to give me rides on the back of her damn motorcycle all the time down to the river to go get stoned. So, yeah, was a crazy job. All right, I cannot just sit here and talk like I do sometimes because I gotta get shit done. Hopefully I'll finish the story.